Okay, Shalom. I'm back at you with this quick one. As soon as I pushed the end the previous video speaking about this oppressive murderer's ass devil videos, murderous devil's hands, some to the extent that this comes up when I stop the video and start uploading it to my page. I start to do what we do, going over the news, examining what's in the news, and look what comes up, man. Look what the first thing I noticed, the first thing I see, which verifies the previous video that I made. Look at this. Chicago police are arresting thousands more black drivers after traffic stops, and they report to state regulators. So they're continuing. This is just a continuing thing, man, and it's going to continue on till that divine intervention take place. Which that divine intervention is again Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai intervening when Yahweh Shai cracked them skies, literally, and that's when it ends, man. That's when all this ends. Reading this, it says this story, and just looking at the individual there, he looks like he's not in the right state of mind in the first place. Something about Jake Love, he just gotta have those. I was trying to make it large. Just gotta have that long, beautiful hair, man. In their eyes, it's beautiful. That long hair. They just gotta have that feminine look, and women love it. It says here, this story is part of a series looking at gun possession, arrest, and persecution in Cook County, published in partnership with Block Club Chicago and the Circuit. Shelby Ramsey never thought a simple traffic stop could leave him in a desperate legal fight to stay out of prison. A desperate legal fight to stay. Oh, here we go. The scripture I found right here in Sirach, the 4th chapter. It says it's where'd she go? Verse 9, Sirach 4:9. Deliver him that suffereth wrong from the hand of the oppressor, and be not faint-hearted when thou sittest in judgment. Thou sittest. It says right here, Shelbert Ramsey never thought a simple traffic stop could leave him in a desperate legal fight to stay out of prison. Ramsey 30 was driving through West Garfield Park one afternoon last summer when he saw an old friend and pulled over briefly to say hello. He said when he pulled away, a few seconds later, he saw police lights flashing behind him. That happened with me as well. I'm at a payphone. This is years before. This is actually around that same period of when cell phones is starting to come into play, when everyone didn't have them. But at the moment, I didn't have I didn't have minutes on my phone, because back then you can buy a pay phone and you can actually purchase a lot. You can purchase your minute, pay as you go, which still is now. But at the beginning, there's a lot more of that. But at the time, I didn't have minutes on my phone, and pulled over and to use the pay phone. And while I'm on the pay phone, this hoe walks up to me and talking to me like, and I shoot her off, I'm on the phone, and I know I was calling one of my kids' moms at the time, and I shoot her off, no, get away from me. Anyway, and she walks off, and then I got the phone to pull off, and I'm pulling off. The cops pull behind me, and they coming after me, man. They came after me for nothing. So he saw flashing lights behind him. Excuse me. The reason for pulling me over was for obstruction of traffic. There was no, and I was at a payphone, you know. There was no one behind me, no one around me. There was no traffic at all. Ramsey said, I feel they pulled me over illegally and they were making up excuses to search me. Ramsey said the officer asked him to get out of the car and search the vehicle after claiming they have seen him buy heroin. Well, you know how the oppressor is a liar, but the arrest reports made no mention of an alleged drug buy and say no drugs were found. Ramsey's had a gun under his seat, which he said he carried for protection when he did overnight custodial work in rough parts of the west side. He had a valid firearm owner identification card that he had recently renewed, though his concealed carry license had been revoked without his knowledge when the FOID card had briefly lapsed during the pandemic, he said. So anyway, I don't carry no guns, and I highly recommend you not carry a gun either. You know, that just gives them more ammo. You know, this gives them another excuse to further on their wickedness. You know, you gotta be wise around here, man. You gotta be wise when dealing with these devils. You know, and again, you know, we're not. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal. Here, let me grab this. Ooh, 2 Corinthians 10:4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds. So the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. Is a spiritual thing, which the world cannot perceive. The world can't understand this, you know, because they're not spiritual. So our main weapon is a spiritual weapon. It's not carnal weapons, guns, knives, muscles. Yo, nigga, you know, yo, nigga, yo, homie, you know, that nigga who's probably popping your wife, you know, behind your back. Hell, your nigga that's popping you, you know, your nigga that's popping you, your thug, that thug love, you know, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringeth into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and having in all readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. Anyway, shalom.